This is a CBS News Detroit update.
Good morning, I'm Sandra Ali. Here's a look at your top headlines on this Thursday morning. Michigan remains in the national spotlight as former President Donald Trump will be here today. He's scheduled to speak at the Detroit Economic Club this afternoon. He'll be speaking during the group's weekly meeting. The chairman of Wallbridge, a Detroit-based construction company, will serve as the presiding officer over the meeting. This is Trump's 12th visit to the state this election cycle. On the Democratic side, Vice presidential nominee Governor Tim Walz will be in Macomb County tomorrow. It's his third solo visit to the state since joining the ticket. And happening today from labor unions in the state, the president of the AFL-CIO is in town to support the Harris-Walz campaign. Liz Schuler planned to talk to workers at the Gordie Howe Bridge construction site. The war of words, meantime, between Stellantis and the United Auto Workers Union is heating up. The union now says a strike at one or more Stellantis plants could begin within the next several weeks. The comments were made yesterday as the UAW held a rally in Warren. The union saying the company not keeping its promises made during last year's negotiations. Stellantis has filed multiple lawsuits against the UAW. Hurricane Milton has now officially made landfall. Many living in Florida or those visiting there are now here in Metro Detroit out of harm's way. They were among those able to fly into Metro Airport before several flights were canceled. We caught up with one couple who landed in Detroit, thankful they were able to escape.
But we were worried. We had to make sure the people watching our house and our dogs, all that was in order, and I had to make sure my work was in order. But
it made prepping to come a whole lot
harder.
More frantic.
Hurricane Milton, by the way, is the third hurricane to make landfall in Florida just this hurricane season. And how about those Tigers? They can win their American League Division Series against Cleveland tonight. Game 4 back at Comerica Park. It's at 6:08. The game completely sold out, but you can still head out to the pregame block party. All the fun starts this afternoon at 3. All right, let's go ahead and check in now with next weather meteorologist Troy Bridges for a look at that forecast. How's it looking for all those folks heading down to Comerica today?
Much like yesterday, we're going to be warming into the mid-60s later this afternoon. The big story this morning, Sandra, is that cold air. In fact, most of southeast Michigan under frost advisories this morning until 9 o'clock, where you see the blue shading. That means temperatures will be dropping into the 30s for many areas this morning. We do rebound as we show you plenty of sunshine today, only a couple of clouds and a high of 64 degrees. Our average is just around 65 for most areas, so very close to where we should be for an afternoon high temperature. Your next weather futurecast shows clear skies for the most part, and that is the reason those temperatures have been dropping overnight the last couple of nights. By Friday, we'll start to see a few of those high clouds rolling in and some rain chances coming in for the end of the weekend, and then another cool down for next week. But high temperatures today area-wide in the 60s, 64 in Lapeer, 62 in Pontiac, 64 for the high today in Ann Arbor as well as Detroit. Early morning temperatures tomorrow once again in the 30s and 40s. Here are the next 7 days, and tomorrow we warm all the way back up to 77 after the mid-60s today. Then we're back to the 60s for Saturday and Sunday with rain chances rolling in Sunday, then highs only in the 50s for next week. Sandra, back to you.
Troy, thanks. That's a look at your headlines. We'll be back later today covering stories that matter to you on air and streaming on the CBS News app and Pluto TV.